Hi guys, in this video I am going to show you how we can use a view model in our iOS application. A view model is used in MVVM model view model pattern to bridge the gap between the model and the view. It serves several important purposes in the architecture of an application, particularly in improving separation of concerns and enhancing the testability and maintainability of the code. So let's get started. I'm going to create a new project in Xcode. I'm going to call it as MVVM model view model. So let's create it. Alright, what I will do, just open the main storyboard and adding a new table view. I'm going to search table view and drag that to my storyboard. I'm going to set constraints top 0, left 0, right 0, bottom 0. Okay, now let's connect this to our view controller, this one. So I'm going to press this button and then click assistant. I'm going to press control in my keyboard and drag it to here and name it as user table view. Alright, then I am going to create a new file, select Cocoa Touch classes in iOS, click next, and there you have to search for UI table view cell and name it as user table view cell. Don't forget, you have to select this, also create xib file which will create the design for that controller also. Okay, here we got our table view cell design. Then I am going to press this button, show library, and add a label to this, and I am going to adjust the height of this cell. Okay, I am going to add some constraints. Top of this label, let's say 12, and left 12, right 12, and adding a height for that label, the default size. I am going to name that as name, and let's add another label below the name. I am going to add constraints standard, let's keep something like 8, and the left 12, right 12, and the height for that also 21. Okay, now we need to adjust the bottom of the cell. Alright, and the next step, just press this button and click assistant. So it will no, it is not opening, so we have to manually open the corresponding control, the user table view cell, that class. So what I will do, just press this button. Okay, then I'm going to select my project and open the Swift file there, and I can go ahead and select the name text, the label, and press keyboard control button and drag that to there. I am going to name this as name label, and also here this should be renamed as something like email, and I am going to drag that to here also, name it as email label. Okay, that is it. We can close this one and also this one. Okay, fine. And what I will do, just go ahead and create a new struct which will be the model for our data set. I am going to click next and name the file as user. Okay, in this file I am going to write a struct, name that as user. In the braces I am going to define let the name, it will be a string. Okay, and the next one is email. Okay, it will be a string also. Alright, so then I am going to create a new file called user view model. This is where we are going to create the view model, name it as user view model. In this I am going to create the class and name that as the user view model. Okay, in the braces I can create an array of this user struct. Then I am using private let and name that as users and define the type of that as include this square brackets, because we need the array of user. Provide the struct name that you added there, this one, and I am going to set that equals to. Now we are going to hard code some value here in this square brackets. I am going to add the first user, type user, so you can provide these arguments. Name first one as Ashane and the email I can say ashane@gmail.com. Okay, now we are going to go for the second element in the array. It will be a user and providing name Ishankar and the email as ishankar@gmail.com, and the last one I am going to say user in the parentheses name as COSTA STHA and the email as costa@gmail.com. Okay, so that is it. I am going to go for the next one, which will return the number of elements in this array. I am going to create a var and name that as number of users and define the type of that as int, because we are going to return an int. We can say return, and we can access this users array now, users, and to get the total number of elements we can use count. Okay, and the next one I am going to create a function to return current user for the position. For example, in a table, if we select an item there, index path dot row will return the position. So we can say func get user. So external name for this as at and the internal name index, and I am going to set it is type as int and it will return a user. This one it will return a user, and in the braces we can say return, and we are accessing users now, and index will be this one. Okay, that is it for the view model. Now we are going to open our view controller. Okay, now we have set up our table view. So I am going to say table view, this name user table view dot delegate equals to self, and user table view dot data source is equals to self, and finally user table view dot register. Now we are using an external table view cell here, this one. Then in the view controller I am going to use an here UINIB and nib name is this one, user table view cell, no, this one. So we have to name that there, user table view cell, this name, and the bundle will be nil, and for reusable identifier. Let's go ahead and open the design, and if you go to select this table there, not table view cell, and go to this settings. Now you will see the place that you have to enter the reuse identifier. We can say something like user cell. Okay, then open the view controller again. Now we are going to enter that reusable identifier user cell. Alright, now that is it. We are going to create an extension, because you can see here it is showing some errors. Extension will allow us to create an extension for our view controller. This is conforms to UI table view delegate. No, delegate and UI table view data source. Okay, in the braces we can add necessary functions. Okay, otherwise you can manually type those. If you type their table view, and you can select here did select row at, we need that. When user click on a table view cell, we can use this function to go ahead, and we can say table view number of, we have to find that table view number of rows in section, and table view, let's see what we need again, cell for row at, let's say cell for row at, it will be suggested if you type cell. Okay, now we can say here we are accessing the view model, so we have to create the reference to that. In the top I can say private let view model user is equals to user view model, and parentheses, we created the reference to that. And here in this number of rows section, we can go for the view model user, this one, and get number of users. The way we are doing that is, in the view model we have a variable called number of users, which returns the count of the users array, the number of elements. Alright, and did select row at, what I can do, just say table view dot deselect row at index path dot row animated as true. Also, when user click on a table view cell, this will be index path, we can say print, in the parentheses I can go ahead and print the user for the current the position. We can say view model user dot get user, the function we created in the view model, this one, which returns the user for the provided index, this one, and we can pass in the index path dot row, here the value of the row element of the index path. Okay, now we are going to finalize the cell, the interface. We can say let cell is equals to table view dot dequeue reusable cell with the identifier is the, let's say it will be user cell. Okay, the reusable identifier in the cell we created here, user cell, and for we can say index path. Alright, now we are going to say as exclamation symbol, and falsely say that it should be a user table view cell, this one. Alright, now we can return the cell, but before that we have to get the user for the current index path. For that we can say let user is equals to then ViewModel user dot get user at index path dot row. Now we have the user, then we can go ahead and set up the cell information. Cell dot name of the user equals to user dot name, and cell dot email label equals to user dot email. Alright, now we can go ahead and run the application. Yes, we have an issue here. We have to say now we can say cell dot name label dot text is equals to user dot name, because currently we have the user, this is structure, and cell dot email label dot text equals to user dot email. Alright, if you are wondering what are these name label and email label, do you remember in our custom cell here in this class we created reference to our UI elements there in the custom table view cell, these two. Now we can go ahead and run it in our simulator. Okay, now we have some issues. I have to add some margins to bottom of this email, so it will be fine. Then press this button. After selecting the email, you have to type some constraints like 12 to bottom, then it will be fine. Okay, now I am going to click on a cell. Something went wrong, it is not deselecting. So what I can do, just cut this code and recreate the did select row at function, did select row at. Now paste that there. Okay, okay, now it's working. I don't know what happened earlier. Now use is getting printed. Alright, I hope this video helps. If this video helps, please subscribe. Thank you.